Welcome to the Paranormal Bible Podcast. This week, prepare yourself. We've got a really, really chilling paranormal probe into two unsettling flash fiction stories. So, forget those usual expectations. You know what I mean? We're diving deep. Weird tales, ghost stories, and strange events, all presented with the intensity of a blockbuster horror film. Get ready. There are some seriously wild narratives we need to unravel.
I think wild is an understatement.
Yeah.
We've got two flash fiction stories that, well, they really go deep into this idea of, the supernatural and how seductive it can be. But then they don't shy away from showing what can happen when you try to control these forces that are just way beyond our grasp. The consequences can be pretty dire.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that old saying, be careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah.
Our first paranormal probe this week opens up with the Hourglass of Eternities. And this story, it just takes that idea and runs with it. Imagine actually finding an antique hourglass, but this isn't just any hourglass. This one has the power to manipulate time. I mean, just thought of it as whoa, right.
And that's exactly what happens to Sarah Blackwood, she's an antiques dealer in London, struggling to keep her shop afloat. And she stumbles upon this incredible object.
It's not like those time turners you see in, fantasy stories. This hourglass, it comes with a curse. It's a serious, terrifying curse. Every single time it's used to change something in the past or the future, it drains the user's life force.
Yeah.
And so basically they age faster. Their own personal clock speeds up. It's the classic, get something amazing but pay a terrible price kind of deal. Right. It's that classic trade-off. And so we see Sarah in this, tough situation. Her shop's barely surviving. She's carrying this pain from a past trauma, this car accident that took her parents, which, by the way, also left her with this strange connection to the past, to old objects. And then she finds this mysterious hourglass at an estate sale. What do you make of that? Her vulnerability and then this powerful object just appearing.
It's brilliant, really. The way it sets things up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's clearly vulnerable, right? She's at a low point, so naturally she's drawn to anything that offers, some kind of solution. And then her connection to the past, both of the trauma and because she deals with antiques, it kind of hints that she'd be interested in something that can, actually mess with time. And then the fact that the hourglass shows up at an estate sale, well, that suggests it has a history of its own,
Yeah.
a past that's probably full of clues about how dangerous it really is.
And the description of this hourglass, man, it gives me the creeps. It's cool to the touch, heavy with these carvings of serpents and these faces that you can't quite make out. And the sand, it doesn't just fall like normal sand. It's it almost drifts like liquid moonlight moving in slow motion. That's some serious foreshadowing right there.
Totally. Those details, like how it feels, its weight, those creepy carvings, they instantly tell you this hourglass is something else, something not from this world. And that description of the sand, yeah, that's really effective. You can practically see it, but it's also super unsettling. Why is it like that? What's going on?
And of course, Sarah, she can't resist the temptation, right? We see her use it a couple of times, first to fix a bad bid she made on this Art Deco vase, something valuable. Then she uses it to outbid a rival for this rare pocket watch. Little victories, right? But what strikes you about her using this powerful thing for those, well, kind of small gains?
It shows you just how human she is. It's
Right.
we all do it. We rationalize, especially when we think we're getting away with something. At first, those uses seem harmless enough, but they start this pattern, this reliance on the hourglass to fix her problems.
Yeah.
And even those little changes, they have consequences.
Huge consequences, yeah. Sarah starts to see the effects immediately. Fine lines out of nowhere, then deeper wrinkles. It's this horrifying realization that she's literally trading years of her life for these little wins. It's the Faustian bargain playing out right in front of us. Why do you think that kind of story, that kind of exchange is so captivating? Why does it resonate with us?
I think it's because deep down, we understand that there are rules, time moves forward, life is finite. Those are fundamental. And the Faustian bargain, it plays with that. It's about wanting forbidden knowledge, forbidden power, and then facing the music when you break those fundamental rules. It makes us think about what we value, what we'd be willing to sacrifice, It's a question we all have to ask ourselves.
Big questions. And the story takes this dark turn, a really dark turn, when Sarah, she realizes just how bad things have gotten. She needs to get out of this mess, but how? So she goes on this journey, and it leads her to this woman, Morella. She's get this, a time witch, living deep in the Louisiana swamps. I mean, talk about a change of scenery and tone.
Just like going from a dusty antique shop to like the heart of some ancient primal magic. You know, the hourglass feels refined, almost delicate, but the Louisiana swamps, that's raw power. And Morella, she represents a different way of understanding time. More instinctive, maybe more dangerous, too.
And her place, oh man, the description just grabs you. This thick smell of herbs and like decay, but mixed with this constant ticking of clocks. Everywhere, clocks, ticking, ticking. It's almost maddening. What do you think all that tells us about Morella, about her connection to time?
It's like she's both a part of time's flow, you know. Yeah. She accepts that things decay, that time passes, but she's also trying to control it, to measure it. That mix of organic decay and the mechanical ticking, it creates this atmosphere that's both ancient and chaotic. Like, you can't predict what her magic will do. It's wild.
Which is what Morella warns Sarah about. She says, time is a wild river, and balance must be restored. It's not just about breaking a curse, it's about messing with the fundamental order of things. That idea of time needing balance, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a powerful concept. You see it in myths, in philosophy, all over the world. It's like the universe wants to be stable. You disrupt that stability, and there's always going to be a pushback. In the story, Sarah's messed with time, and the universe is trying to correct that imbalance, first with the curse and then with Lazarus.
Yeah, and then we get to this super tense scene. Morella's performing this ritual in a graveyard, a ramshackle graveyard, under a moonless sky. Talk about classic horror imagery, right? The stakes are so high. And even the hourglass, it reacts. It starts glowing this sickly green. That's more than just a change in color, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. The hourglass changing color, that tells you something shifted. It's getting more malevolent. It's not just a tool anymore. It's like participating in what's happening, maybe even feeding on it. It's like the more Sarah tries to control time, the more dangerous the hourglass itself becomes.
And then, out of nowhere, this figure appears. Lazarus, the collector. He's described as tall, unnaturally thin, like he's woven from darkness. He wants the hourglass for his own twisted purposes. What's his arrival mean for Sarah and her struggle?
Lazarus, I think he represents what happens when you mess with forces you don't understand. It's like the ultimate consequence. He's not just part of the curse. He's something drawn to the hourglass's power, which is now amplified because of everything Sarah's done. Now it's not just about Sarah aging too fast. It's about something way bigger, something that could unleash, like, cosmic evil.
Right, the stakes just went way up. So Sarah tries to use the hourglass against Lazarus in this desperate attempt to escape. It's chaos. And she ends up back in her shop, but it's ruined. And time, oh man, weeks, maybe even months have passed for everyone else, but for her it was like a blink. What does this warping of time do to the story?
It really shows how much control Sarah has lost. Not only is she aging rapidly, but her experience of time is completely messed up. And that ruined shop, it's like a symbol of what her actions have caused. The world's moved on without her, and not in a good way.
But then there's this unexpected turn. Her rival, Elijah, they end up having to work together. Enemies united against a bigger threat. And he tells her about something Morella had foreseen, this counterbalance, something that can, give back time for everything that was stolen. What do you think about this idea of a counterbalance?
It gives you a bit of hope, but it also makes you think, what are the rules of time in this world? It suggests that something is working to keep things in balance, even against powerful magic. So even though things are bad, maybe there's a way to fix it. It's not all doom and gloom.
And there's this moment where Sarah sees her reflection, her age in reflection. It's heartbreaking, but you can also see this determination in her. She's not giving up. What do you think gives her that strength?
Maybe it's guilt, you know, for what she did. Or maybe it's that she wants her life back, the time she lost. Or maybe, now that she understands how precious time is, she has to fight for it. Not just for herself, but to stop Lazarus from using that power for evil.
And that leads to the climax. Sarah comes up with this plan, this really dangerous plan to draw Lazarus back to the shop. But the shop isn't just a shop anymore. It's a battleground. Salt circles, Celtic charms, and she even has this Byzantine blade that can, bind time. Sarah's not just running anymore, she's fighting back.
Oh, yeah. She's taking control. She's not a victim anymore. She's using everything she knows, even if it's not much, to defend herself. The salt circles, the charms, it adds this whole layer of lore, like she's drawing on ancient knowledge to fight the hourglass's magic.
And the final showdown with Lazarus, it's intense. He's radiating the stolen youth, making him even more powerful. And then Sarah, she does something shocking. In this last act of desperation, she shatters the hourglass. What does that act of destroying this powerful object mean, do you think?
It's like she's rejecting everything it stands for. She's saying, I don't want this power anymore. It's a huge sacrifice because now she can't manipulate time at all, but it's like she's choosing to break free, even if she doesn't know what'll happen. It's a powerful moment of choice.
And then we get the twist. Sarah wakes up in a hospital and she's young again. The backlash from destroying the hourglass, it didn't just destroy Lazarus, it reversed the curse, healed her. She survived, but it's different, right?
It's a bittersweet survival. She's young, but she carries the weight of what happened. She knows what she did, how close she came to losing everything. It's a second chance, but one that came at a huge price.
And then the final discovery. Morella had left this smaller, ordinary-looking hourglass. It can't control years or anything, just moments. It's like a chance for Sarah to start over without that temptation to control everything. It's a surprisingly hopeful ending to a story that's been pretty dark.
That small hourglass, I think it represents a return to a more natural way of living with time. Small changes, learning from mistakes, without trying to control the big picture. It's like saying true growth comes from living in the moment, not from trying to manipulate it.
So we go from messing with time to, well, our second paranormal probe takes us to this unsettling world of the Puppeteer's Promise. Picture this, a traveling carnival. It's supposed to be fun, right? But there's a dark secret lurking beneath the surface. What if the Puppeteer's creations, the puppets, they weren't just wood and cloth, but they actually held the souls of living people? That's a terrifying thought.
It is. It taps into that primal fear of losing control, of being someone else's puppet, literally. And the carnival setting, it's perfect for this. Carnivals are all about illusions, about things not being what they seem. And sometimes they can be a bit creepy, you know.
Totally. So these trapped souls, they start crying out, literally crying out for help. And this draws the attention of our main character, Elias Blackwood. He's a former folklorist, someone who used to study magic and myths. But he's become disillusioned, especially after a personal tragedy. What do you think his background brings to this mystery?
Well, as a folklorist, he's got this unique perspective. He knows the lore, the stories, the potential dangers. But he's also heartbroken, you know. He's lost someone he loved, so he's skeptical. But because of his knowledge, he's also the one who can recognize that something truly supernatural is going on at this carnival. It's like he used to believe, then tragedy made him stop believing, but now he's facing something that forces him to question everything.
And right from the start, we get this disturbing image, a puppet, but it's crying real tears. And then a woman who looks just like that puppet, she vanishes. It's a clear sign that something's wrong, something unnatural. And then we meet Anya. She's a knife thrower, and she becomes Elias's ally in this investigation. She's looking for her brother, who they say was always chasing threads. What do you think her role is in the story?
Anya gives Elias a personal connection to what's happening. Her brother's gone missing, and that connects her directly to the carnival. And that description of him, always chasing threads, it suggests he was curious about the unknown, maybe even a little vulnerable to these kinds of forces. She becomes Elias's partner, but her perspective is different. It's driven by desperation, not just curiosity.
And there's this object that Elias carries with him, this haunting music box. It's not just any music box. It holds the essence of his dead wife. It's a powerful motivator for him. How does this personal loss shape his investigation?
That music box is a constant reminder of his grief, of his love for his wife. It makes him vulnerable because he's open to anything that might bring her back, even if it's dangerous, even if it's from a place like this carnival. It's like it's a physical representation of his longing, and that makes him a target for manipulation.
So they follow the clues, and it leads them to the Puppeteer's caravan. It's described as this island of shadow in the middle of this bright, noisy carnival. It's filled with grotesque puppets, and that's where they meet the Pale Weaver, the Puppeteer. And the atmosphere is so heavy, the smell of old wood, stale incense, and then this otherworldly scent you can't quite place. What does all that tell you about the Pale Weaver?
That contrast between the carnival and the caravan, it tells you right away that the Pale Weaver is different. They're not playing by the same rules. And the puppets, the smells, it's all unsettling. The old wood, the incense, that otherworldly scent, it suggests something ancient, something maybe evil. And the Pale Weaver always wears a mask, which adds to the mystery, like they're hiding something important.
Elias starts digging into his research, and he realizes something crucial. There's always a price, always a catch. He knows the dark side of folklore. And then they learn about the lore surrounding puppeteers, about how they bargain with pieces of souls. It's a chilling idea, that you could trade parts of yourself for something you want.
Yeah, it's like a magic always comes with a price tag. It's never a gift. There's always an exchange. And usually you don't know the full cost until it's too late. The lore about these soul-bargaining puppeteers, it sets the stage for understanding what the Pale Weaver's doing. It's not just a show, it's something much darker.
Then they meet this fortune teller, a mysterious woman with these painted ravens. She agrees to give them information, but her price is steep. She wants a story from Elias's past, a memory to feed the ravens. And the story Elias tells, it's about a time when he was arrogant, about an encounter with an ancient shrine that left him with this cursed sight. He believes that sight led to his wife's death. How does this exchange with the fortune teller help us understand Elias better?
It shows us his hidden pain, why he's so disillusioned. That cursed sight, the guilt he carries, explains why he doesn't want to believe in magic anymore.
Yeah.
But by telling that story, by reliving that pain, he's not just paying the fortune teller's price, he's facing his own trauma. And that might be exactly what he needs to do to solve this mystery.
The investigation takes them to this hidden workshop, and it's horrifying. It's like a twisted stage with these lifelike figures strung up on these bone-like frames. It's the missing people, their souls trapped. It's a nightmare come to life.
It's so disturbing. The way it's described, it shows you how completely these people have been violated. Those bone-like frames, it emphasizes how unnatural this is, how life is being drained from them. It's like the ultimate image of being controlled turned into a puppet.
And the Pale Weaver gives this chilling explanation. They say it's not abduction, it's an exchange. Wishes granted in return for an alternative existence. It's a twisted way of justifying what they've done. Do you think it tells us anything about their motivations, or are they just pure evil?
I think it adds some complexity. The Pale Weaver is saying they're providing a service, a really messed up service, but still people are coming to them wanting something they don't have. It makes you think about desire, about what people will sacrifice for it. It's not simple.
The tension builds when the Pale Weaver senses Elias's desperation, is longing for his wife, and they offer him a deal. You can feel Elias struggling, this hope battling against everything he's learned. What do you think is going on in his head at that moment?
He wants his wife back, more than anything. But he knows deep down that deals like this always have a price. His experience with that cursed sight, it's a warning. He's caught between his grief and his knowledge. It's a hard choice.
And just when you think he's about to say yes, the fortune teller comes back. And she's brought Elias's wife, but she's a spectral figure bound in these ethereal chains. It's like a twisted gift to sway him. What do you think about her appearance?
It's cruel, straight up. It's playing on his deepest love. But those chains, they tell you she's not free. Not really. If he makes this deal, it'll cost him. And probably her, too. It shows you just how deceptive these promises are.
Anya tries to warn him, tells him about the true cost of these bargains. Elias is clearly torn. He asks for the price, but the fortune teller says something really unsettling. She says he's not making the bargain with her. What does that tell you?
It means there's something bigger going on. The Pale Weaver, maybe even the fortune teller, they're just pawns. The real power, the one demanding the price, it's something older, something way more terrifying than Elias can imagine. It's like the story just opened up to this whole other level of darkness.
And then the climax. This huge, shapeless shadow arrives, and there's this voice whispering in Elias's ear, promising that his wife will be safe, but for a time. It's a chilling promise. And then Elias is gone, just like that. All that's left is an empty clearing and those creepy puppets watching. It's such an unresolved ending. What do you think it leaves us with?
Unease, for sure. It showed you that there are forces out there, forces we can't understand or control. And those puppets, their eyes staring, it's a reminder that those souls are still trapped, that the mystery isn't over. You're left wondering, what happened to Elias? What was that shadow?
And the story ends with Anya's words. She says, "Some strings are best left uncut." It's such a fitting ending, don't you think?
Absolutely. It sums up the whole story. It's a warning about messing with fate, about consequences of magic. It stays with you, even after the story's over.
These two paranormal probes, they're like glimpses into this dark side of wanting things, of the power of folklore. It makes you ask yourself, what would you sacrifice for a second chance to see someone you've lost again? These stories, they remind us that some doors are best left closed, and that fate, well, sometimes it's more tangled than we can ever know. Join us next time on the Paranormal Bible Podcast for more captivating stories from those shadowy corners of the world. Remember to rate and follow the show for more captivating stories from the Paranormal Bible.
Until next time.
See you then.